YouTube. So let me grab that link, and then I'm going to send that link to everybody on an email, because there's some people that said that they kind of didn't want to be on the Zoom part of it all. So let me just do that real quick. And Zoom won't give me the URL, the web address, until right as I do it. So so let me grab this real quick. So hang in there with me for a moment. And let's see, there's that one. And I'm going to create message. Get to see my the magic of the technology, right? Okay, so let's see. So yeah, I've been noticing some really cool shifts for people, and it's going to be cool to get this for you. Pretty good, huh? Okay, so let's see. So YouTube link for today, and let's get that. There it is. I can get out of there. I think it's still going. Save and exit. Okay. Oh, it's going to make me link YouTube. Okay, here goes. Okay, so the way we're going to do this, well, who knows how it all starts, how it goes, right? We do this as it goes, and in Matrix Energetics, we go where it goes. But the place, thank you, Bart. Awesome. Okay, and yeah, so Bart has a thing that's, I see a lot. People have a condition, a medical condition or a physical condition, but they also have a money condition. And when I ask people how much of your condition, your life would be better, I say, how much is that related to money? How much, if money were not an issue, how much of your problem would be gone? And it's funny, I've been getting things like 99% or really, really high percentage of stuff. I think it might be because people know what they would need or what they would do, and the therapies and the stuff that they would get and the way they would go, and they could handle the physical stuff. Of course, if you don't have your physical health, that's really, really big. So that's very, very important. But money's a big thing. So that's a common one, or one that I see with a lot of our group. And I found some stuff that we're going to be doing today that I found really useful, and it's shifted a lot of stuff. So I'll tell you about it, and then we'll start to use it, and use it in the Matrix Energetics way and also in a physical way. And we can see real changes for you. It can show up as synchronicities and all sorts of magic stuff that happens, and action starts to actually work for you, or work better for you, or work really big for you. So if that sounds like a good plan, a good idea, just put a little thing in the chat if you see the chat and just say, sounds good. Or if you have something else that you would be like, oh, can you also do this? And I read through all your emails, the people that sent me emails, so I've got that. So thank you for that. But if getting to the root cause of what's in the way of you getting your physical health, and also your thanks, Elizabeth, your money issues and the way that you can do stuff, then that's what we're up to today. So that sounds good. So you guys are saying yes, awesome. So and it's for you. So if something shows up where you go, I think there's another thing that could be needed too, or what about this, or what about that? So let me know. All right, so sounds good. So to start with, I'm very excited. I'll tell you why I'm excited. I've been working with a lot of different teachers and coaches for quite a while. And, if you followed me for a while, you know that the integrative manual therapy was 110 classes, and Matrix Energetics was, I think, somewhere around 30 to 35 classes or more now. And for 32 years, I've been doing lots of stuff, and education is one of the things that I do. And as I was transitioning to working up here in the Pacific Northwest and doing it at a distance with people all over the world, I realized I had to learn how to do that part of the work, the business side of it. Like, how do I let people know I'm here? And how do I get them to understand what I do? And how do I get clients? And what do I do to do that? And so I started studying with business coaches, and I've had quite a few, and I read a lot of them. I YouTube a lot of them. I pay some of them a lot of money, and they've shown me some cool stuff. And one of the things I found is that the money stuff, the business stuff, the business side of stuff is some of the most spiritual work I've ever done. So I don't know about you, but with the different things that you do to make money, to get business going, to make life work for you, some of those are the biggest spiritual teachers. Now, I know a lot of you are dealing with very chronic medical conditions too. And if you know me from my videos and work and stuff, you know, I was dealing with some really strong physical conditions, stuff where I thought I was actually dying. So when it was that, man, not much else mattered, of course, right? So that was a big spiritual journey too, trying to figure out what's that all about. I mean, I remember, you know, during parts of it, just sitting in places like telling God, you know, like, just take me or show me how to get out of here, because this is crazy. And even when we were here living outside in the Pacific Northwest, I'd run up this forest road out here and I could see Mount Baker, and I've numerous talks with God, like, God, just take me now, or let me do what I feel like I'm here to do. It's like a cruel joke, right? To give somebody a real big desire to do something in life, and then it's all just crumbling around you. That's crazy. So I did a lot of spiritual looking inside. And one of the things I found was, all right, clothing business. We got a few people with clothing businesses. Awesome. I'm going to take the guy that just bought our table, Alec. He has that's a great Morphic field. I'll tell you about him in a minute. Okay. And so I learned a lot of stuff. And so what happened, I'm going to tell you a story. And stories are great because it really is going to illustrate what we're up to today. And we're going to do this in a matrix energetics way. And while we do this, if you have a condition around business or money, it can help with that. But it can also help with medical conditions, with mental conditions, with other stuff. Like, you know, from Follow Me for a while, working on somebody's neck and head and knees and headaches, shifting that, and then money comes in for the family. So that's interesting. Working with a client, and then her husband's business all of a sudden has a big multi-million-dollar contract come in that was unexpected and saved the business. So it's all included. And when we do the one-on-one session with a few of you here this morning or this evening, wherever you are in the world, I know some of you said it's evening time where you are. So when we do a one-on-one session, or we do the group session with somebody for some certain thing, and you think, well, I don't have that, it's okay. You're still included. And the web is such that things in other areas can shift. So, you know, what I like to do is test things that you can retest quickly. So you can check your shoulders, see how things feel, check your neck and your back, and walk around a little bit. Think about what you would really like in the world. If something were to change for you today, like right now, we'll do a good click. What would that be like? What might you like? So take a moment and just tune into that. I'm going to grab a little water. I'm going to take these off for a moment. Okay, so a story of a business coach that then got me this epiphany and shifted this thing. So a while back, I was working with a business coach, and I don't even remember how he did it, but then I came up with this way that I did it, and it just started to snowball. And so, pardon me. And so I don't know the exact way it timelined out, but I was wondering, why is it so that I have to work so hard to make money? And I've made a lot of money before in San Diego with my physical therapy practice. And then I'm making, things are going really pretty well now and going better and better, but so much work, like websites and marketing things and all sorts of stuff. So why all the work? And why is it such a struggle? And so as I did it, I had this thought come in, what's the bad thing that would happen if a bunch of money came in and it was really easy for me with a lot of money? What's the bad thing that would happen? And what showed up was all of a sudden I flashed back to the 3rd grade, and my middle name is Carlos, and my Uncle Carlos was killed in a car wreck, too much alcohol, driving across a bridge in Memphis in the Navy, and he was killed. And he had a giant life insurance policy. And so my grandparents in Del Rio, Texas, left their adobe house and bought different houses around Del Rio. And they gave my mom and my mom's brother, the 2 remaining kids, a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. And my mom's brother did well, invested it in houses and stuff, and set things up for the family. And our family did something different. So my stepdad went and had this big idea to have a big clinic out far removed from Del Rio, a few miles out. And the clinic that my mom would attract a lot of people from all over the world. Kind of funny, huh? How I'm doing what similar ideas like that. But they put a lot of money into this land and into this building. And bottom line is they ran out of money before they finished it. And then a year went by, a couple of years, and finally the weather, the storms took down the rest of the building. And my stepdad didn't look at what he did as like a thing he did. He blamed my grandfather, who gave him all that money. And he started accusing my grandfather of stealing tools and stealing things from him and trying to sabotage him. And the whole town had torn the building down. And it's like, dude, the building was sitting there in the storms for 2 years. So, but that's what he did. And we were from a Mexican family. I'm mostly Hispanic. And until then, when we were in that adobe house, big family gatherings, all sides of the family and all the kids, everybody playing outside, big yard, giant yard next to a big field and adobe house. And it's like people weren't rich, but we were like, we were having fun with the family. And because of all this, everything was destroyed. I mean, there's parts of my family that I've never talked to for years and years and years. I'd have a hard time tracking them down now. And I was forbidden to talk to certain people. And there was all this stuff that happened. And so what came to me in a flash was, oh my God, to make a lot of money, somebody's going to die and it's going to destroy the family. So of course, that's a pretty bad thing. So of course, there's something in there that says, no, dude, you don't want that. Why would you want that? You love your family. Things are good. We'll make it where it's like you don't kind of get that because we don't want that. So what I did in the matrix was drop down to the heart space, which is what we're in right now. And we'll be doing this for you in a minute. Good, huh? And I decided, I looked at that and I said, oh, wow, well, that makes some sense now, but it doesn't make sense anymore. It's like, it's not needed anymore. That bad thing's not going to happen if I make a lot of money and get a real successful thing and get my message out to more and more people. And it's not going to destroy our family. In fact, we got a great family. And so I decided to let that go and decided to bring in a belief that I can flourish on all levels, including the money and business and getting the word out about my practice, and still have a beautiful family and a lot of abundance on all levels. And then, of course, drop down to the heart space and let go. Isn't that cool? So we're going to be looking for you what's going on and what things you would need to have in place. Because when I did that for me, I remember how it showed up. I was like, okay, what do I need to make this happen? And I'm like, well, I need this kind of website. I need this kind of marketing, and I need to get do more webinars here, and I got to do this and this and this. So I had all the stuff in place. And then I said, is there anything else that's in the way? Like, what's the bad thing that's going to stop that from working? And so that's how I came to that instantly. I came to third grade, and that whole thing flashed in front of my eyes. And then it was like, oh, there it is. and I shifted it. And it's interesting, more clients started coming in, and clients that were getting me, and clients with more money. And I love clients with all levels of income. It's not about that, but there's so many buttons around money, and it's like, come on, everybody, let's get some money so you can do what you want to do, right? So it's okay to get over that, like take some responsibility for that. And so for me, I was like, okay, this is cool. More stuff is happening. So this was a while back, and it started shifting. So let me see what the next one was there. I wrote some of these down because it was so cool. Let's see. Okay. So the other one that came was like, why do I work so hard? So I do work a lot, very hard. So I was wondering, what's that all about? And I was going through all the stuff, and what would happen if I didn't work so hard? If I just did my work and it worked, but I didn't just work all the time. And instantly I flashed back again to around, I think it was sophomore year, might've been junior year, sophomore year or so. And I had a really terrible earache. And so I was home from school, and I was sleeping a lot. And then on like the third day, I was starting to finally feel better. So I got myself up, and I was in my grandmother's house, and I went to the TV room and laid on the couch with a blanket. It can feel kind of good when you have a little cold or flu and you're getting over it and you're just kind of resting. And so I was watching some daytime TV, and my stepdad, he was just kind of like this. He snuck up on me because he wanted to catch me cheating or doing wrong. And so he got so mad at me because if I was well enough to watch daytime TV, I was willing to go to school, and this was ridiculous. And I just got in so much trouble. So what I was like was, oh, what's the bad thing that happens if I relax on a Sunday, or I relax on a weekday, and I enjoy my family, and I don't always do work all the time? What's the bad thing that'll happen? And it's like, oh my God, hypervigilance, right? Getting attacked because I'm caught, like, oh man, I wasn't working. So of course I go there, I notice it's not useful anymore. It never really was useful, but it's definitely not useful now. I let that go. I go to a new rule set, I decide a new belief, and like I can relax and I can have fun, and I can still do my work, but I don't have to always be doing it, and nothing's going to happen that's going to like attack me, right? So that was another one. So it's just, I'm giving you these examples so that when we start to do this as a group, and then we start to do this in person, one-on-one with a few people, you get an idea how it works. So the other one was, I do work in town 2 days a week in Bellingham. I've got an office 2 days a week, Mondays and Thursdays, see local people. And I forgot the exact way it showed up, but the idea was being away a lot from my family. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you're working and you're kind of away. And I was like, what's that all about? And I'm like, what's the worst thing that would happen if, money flowed in and I could do my work, but I could also spend a lot of good quality time with my wife and my 2 little boys? And what's the worst thing that could happen? And again, I instantly came back to around freshman year, somewhere in there, 8th grade, 9th grade. We were in Wisconsin, and my dad worked really hard at an auto parts store, but he had to drive into Madison, Wisconsin, and then drive all the way back out to the suburbs, Middleton. And me and my sister would just dread him coming home, even to where we were kind of like, be okay if he didn't make it back, right? And, so it was pretty abusive. So that kind of played out like, wow, what's the worst thing that could happen if I didn't have to go work really long days, Mondays and Thursdays, and didn't have to work really long days, other days of the week, yet could still have the abundance and be able to spend time with my family? What's the worst thing that could happen? It's like there was something about that, my family is going to get abused, or if I'm around, it's going to be, stressful. And so, but I'm a pretty nice guy, and we don't do stuff like that. But there was this belief going along in there. And so I shifted it. I went back and said, okay, well, that's not useful. Now I'm not my dad. I don't do that. And I can decide right now to let that go. That belief that, I got to be away for the family to feel okay. And then I brought in a new belief. I can be around my family, and I don't always have to be working to make things okay. So now the beauty of what we do and how we do it is we can do this in the matrix so that it can happen like that. It's still useful to do it consciously, I believe, and go through and have some epiphanies. Now, if you don't have an epiphany, that's okay. And if it's something that is just a story that you played over and over again and you're familiar with it, it's like, oh, I know the story of why I'm not getting ahead with this, or my health is failing with this. I know the story, or it's that thing, or past life, or my mom, or it's just the way it is, or my DNA, or, you know, if you have this story, it might be that. But if a epiphany comes in, if it just flashes in, like, you know, all of a sudden you see yourself at age 14, or see yourself at age 8, or 17, or 3, or 5, then you can take that and go, oh, there's some information. Like if it flashes, you don't have to try to make it flash in front of your eyes. But if something pops in where it's like, oh, what is that? You might all of a sudden be brought back to something, and it might show up as one of these kind of patterns. And so what we're going to do energetically first as a group is do this. And with all of us together, it's going to be really powerful. And there's some really powerful people on this call. Whoa. Thank you, you guys. So there's a big power in the group. So what you can do, let me just check in with everybody. Does this sound useful? Just give me a little like, I'm on the right track, or there's something kind of cool that might happen here. Okay, awesome. Okay, thanks. Just want to check in to see if there's something I'm missing or something that would be different. Okay, awesome. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, okay. So Alex, not quite sure what I need to do. Okay. So first right now, just let's do this. So nothing you need to do. Hang on. Okay. So let me do this for you. You just notice what you notice, or don't even bother trying to notice. Here goes. Total perfected essence. Correct neutral to anything and everything now. Okay. Now I've done this ahead of time, but it's going to be fun to do it now. I'm going to put my teachers, so this one here, that one here, and that one here. Activate. I'm going to bring in Babaji, Jesus, Lahiri, Ananda Myanmar, Yugoswarji, Yogananda, Pang Ming, Pang Heming Lao Shi, Ming Tonggu, Lin Ling, Sharon, Gio Mateo, Tom. Activate. Richard, Hector, Ralph. Okay, so that feels good. So now, don't worry about like, what do we do? What do I do? What's going to happen? I'll walk you through it, but you're already in the soup. So it's already being done with you, for you. So think of what you would like if it's your health to get over a certain medical condition, or if it's your business and lifestyle, or getting a relationship like a significant other, like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or shifting relationships you have. What would you like? And it could be in multiple categories, right? So, and this can be useful to actually start to do. So start to put the things in place, like as if it was a big mind map and you have all the different components of what you're going to do. I'm going to put them in place as I see them here in the field. And what you can do is just go, okay, if I really needed to get my health back, I would do this. And if some of it is like, well, I don't have the money to do that, that's okay. Think, well, if I really needed to get my health back and I had enough money to see that guy, I would do that. Start to go through all the things you would need, whether it's money or a certain practitioner or certain business partner or things. And of course, it can be different things that show up, but I'm going to start to put them in place. And you guys can start to think, okay, what would I do if I was really going to do this? Yeah, awesome. Like things to do to bring your special talents to the world. What would you do in the physical world to make that happen? What would you do in the physical world to get healthy? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically? Cool. So some things are coming in that are interesting. The unexpected ways to get that. Awesome. I say awesome because I feel it. You guys are doing great. Doing great. Okay. Now that's going. Am I ready for this? Yeah. Okay. So now just drop a pebble into the pond, you know, as if there's a pond down below your feet and there's a pebble around your head. And you're going to just let go of the pebble and it falls and hits that pond. And if you already had what you desire, the plan you just came up with worked, totally worked spectacularly, wonderfully, remarkably, amazingly. If the plan worked completely and you got what you wanted, you can go ahead and go to how it feels having it. So go ahead and do that now. And take a pebble. And on 3, let's let go. 2, 1, 3. And go to that feeling state. And then what is the bad thing that would happen if you got that? So some of you, the wheel might be turning, like the little little thing in the computer that says working, working, looking, looking. What's the bad thing that would happen if you actually did get that? Yeah. Yeah, and some of you might go to a certain age that just flashed in, maybe expectedly or maybe unexpectedly. And see, what is that? Like, what is that bad thing that would happen if you had gotten everything you wanted? Good work, everybody. And if you have something that showed up, a certain age or some kind of thing that happened or something that's like, oh man, no wonder I have this belief or this is what happened. Or if I did get that, here's what the bad thing that might happen. It's like it's happened when I was 3 or 5 or 7 or 8. And when you get there, then you could look at it objectively now and as an adult and go, okay, I don't need that anymore. Whatever belief that is that something bad is going to happen if you get that. Oh, good work. And then you can make up a new, you can have a new decision, not it's just made up out of the air. It's like you can actually go and decide, okay, I am deciding right now to let that belief go because it's not useful. It's not really true. Maybe it was never true. Maybe it was true back then, but it's not true now. So I'm deciding right now to let that belief go now. You guys are powerful. And then you can decide as an adult what a more useful decision might be for you now. Like I am deciding, and the word decide or decision is really key. I am deciding to believe this. So you can come up with a new belief that would be more useful now, of decision to live with a different rule. Different than the bad thing's going to happen if you get it. Yeah, more like that's not useful. That was never useful. Or maybe it was useful, but it's definitely not useful now. I've decided to let that go now. And I've decided this is my new belief. Yeah. And it can be related to your health. I've decided that I'm healthy and I always eat wonderfully nutritious food that supports me. And I feel great with lots of energy. It lets me do all these fun things I want to do. I have a very healthy mind and my thoughts are useful. I do my work and everyone loves my work and loves to pay me for it and feels really good paying me for it because they get such a transformation. There you go. I easily find the right place to live that's healthy, feels good, and supports me in every way. I always find that. I always land in the perfect place. I am magic. Magic always happens around me. And people know it. Yeah, there you go. So you can start to see different beliefs, decisions that might have been made in the past by you, based on maybe some good ideas in the past, but maybe not so useful anymore. And so as you go through this exercise, you think, okay, I want to get this. And you go through and you come up with the things in the physical world to do to get that. So many people are waiting for the lottery. And there's different versions of that, right? The dinar, Bitcoin, somebody dying, just waiting for it to magically appear. Spiritually, just meditating and saying, I'm going to just wait till God gives it to me. But this is this little different method that we're doing right now. We're going through and you might want to even go, oh, you know what? I'm going to do these 12 things I just came up with to get this done. In order to do this, I do need a business coach, or I do need to see this practitioner to get over this condition, or I do need to change my diet, or whatever those things are, put them all in place. You might even write them down. And then the next thing is like, what's the bad thing that's going to happen if I get this, if this all works? It works amazing. And then you flash back, see what it's really about, make new decisions, and then, of course, let go. Drop your pebble. Awesome. So that feels good. So now that's good. Good work. So if anybody wants to put in there anything they experienced, I love hearing, just to get some feedback. We'll do it with somebody in person in a moment. But this feels really big. Okay, so there's something that I'm picking up, some kind of like thing that's been hidden, like you've hidden it for good reasons, shame-based thing. Let me just check that for a minute. Very, like, there's a self-consciousness to this that caused a lot of self-consciousness, where it's like, can't just relax in your own skin. You might get found out or something. Let's just do it. So if there's any other thing that you want to work on, some sort of attribute that maybe has a bit of shame attached to it, some way of that you've been hiding, some way that you're not getting yourself out there. If there's anything that you want to shift right now in that kind of world, or anything else, if it's something else that you still, oh, good. Thank you, Misty. Awesome. So anything else you want to shift? Because for me, as I shifted those patterns, one was definitely about the money, like somebody would have to die and it would destroy the family, you know. Another one was about, so they're so out there that I forget now. God, I gotta go and look at that. Oh, that I'm gonna be attacked if I let my guard down and don't just work all the freaking time. And that my family would be better if I just worked all the time, because then I wouldn't have a chance to like hurt anybody. You know, what a thing to do, right? So I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, let's see if there's anything else that you want to shift in the physical, in the behavioral. I'll give another story. There was somebody that had a real issue with food. But by that I mean, didn't like eating around people, especially if it was quiet, because the sounds of people eating and things clinking on the plates brought up a lot of rage, tons and tons and tons of rage, just out of control rage. And of course the person could hide it, because that's not socially acceptable to rage around when somebody's eating. Eating's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have fun with your friends and your family eating. And so this was very disturbing. And then as this exercise happened for this person, what the flashback was a bunch of abuse at the dinner table from somebody, one of the parents, that just went into a rageful fit and actually did physical abuse, hitting the kids and forcing them to eat enormous amounts of stuff, you know, like ketchup or something, bottles and bottles of ketchup, in a rage because he didn't like the way they were eating their ketchup. It's like, is that the strangest thing ever? But for a little kid, it's like they're under a house rules, and they can't just leave, and they don't know these are the only rules they know. So this person had a lot of rage around food and eating and friends eating and family eating, and especially if it was quiet and they could hear stuff. And so what showed up was, what's the bad thing that happens if everybody gets to eat and make their little noise with their plates and they're clinking their utensils and chomping their food and talking and having a good time? What's the bad thing that's going to happen? It's like, well, you're going to get the shit beat out of you physically, and you're going to have a lot of shame-based activity, like having to eat a bunch of ketchup. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? So when we shifted that, we went back and said, well, that's ridiculous, and I can see why it's in place, but I am deciding right now to let that go. Let that decision go. People can eat the way they want to eat. I can have fun when people eat. Nobody's going to come and attack anybody when they're eating. It's fun to eat. I enjoy having fun with eating and with hanging out with my friends and family while everybody eats. It's nice to have good food. It's great to have good food. And then, of course, we let go. Drop a pebble, let go. So that's for you guys, because we all have our versions of things that happened. That little ones don't have a lot of filters for, and then have to get some beliefs around things. It's like, well, of course, a belief that you better be quiet, and if your sibling is making noise, it's going to be like, don't do that. You were going to get killed. So it makes sense now, but then it's no longer useful. So go and let's do another one. Drop into your heart space, and by that I mean drop a pebble, let go. Awesome. And this is a thing, a technique, a practice that I actually learned. It came from a business coach, although he didn't show me exactly like this, but it just started to snowball. And a bunch of abundance came in money and synchronicity and more synchronicity and even more synchronicity. And it's like, my wife and I were like, oh my God, this is really working on a whole nother level. And things were already working on a pretty good level. And so I've seen real world changes in doing this exercise. And so let's take the time now. So think of some other pattern you want to let go of, like something that you do, some shame-based thing, or some way that you act around your kids, or something that just basically things that push your buttons. Not having enough money to have your business run. People not getting your business and not buying your clothes. You know, you have great clothes and it's like, why aren't they getting it? You know, whatever your thing is, the wellness center, there's so many people that have sent me emails. So let's put this in the field of a wellness center. Whatever version of that is, it's been showing up as people want this school, they want a cooperative thing, they want multiple people, a lot around Bellingham and Mount Baker. And I think it's around everywhere. And what I think it is people really, really want a home where it's like, it's bigger than just like the money and what you do, but there's an abundance too. And the kids are happy and parents can relax and there doesn't have to be this hypervigilance and like, how do we get by? And, you know, people really want some real connection with people and to be doing something meaningful. So whatever that is for you, there you go. Oh, I love it. 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 Oh my gosh. I'm going to send you a video. Music is one of the ways that takes you straight to spirit. Sex is another one, of course. Wow. I'm going to send you guys a song called Risk It. Not so much for the words, but for the pure emotion of this guy. It's my wife and I joke, it's like Mount Baker Highway meets Ocean Beach, California. That's like, you'll see it, it's cool. Oh, this is cool. So all sorts of physical things that show up in your world, manifestations of anxiety, depression, physical sensations, physical manifestations, things that happen to your physical body, anxieties, hypervigilance. Trying to check out. Whoa. Okay. And now, what would you do to solve that? Like, how much money would you need? How much help would you need? How many coaches would you need? Which coaches would you need? What kind of business help would you need? What kind of physical help would you need? What kind of classes, exercise classes and practitioners? And what would be your ideal thing? Do this, 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 that. Okay, now, say you got all of that. Say it totally worked. Your version of whatever that thriving is, thriving your life. You got it, you got it, you got it. Whoa. Now, what's the bad thing that would happen if you got it? What's the bad thing? And if you get something tangible or that you can kind of put your finger on, that's one thing. If you just get a point in space where it's like your attention goes to some point in space, that's good. If you get a color, if you get a physical sensation in your body, if you can't put your finger on it and use words to say what it is, that's okay. But you have a physical sensation that showed up, or a place in space that you kind of noticed, or some kind of sensation you had in your awareness or body. Notice that. And now we're going to go ahead and let go. 3, 2, 1. Everything you want. So I'll send you a little the notes on here's the process you could try and use. And it's been really cool doing this. And so it'll be cool to see what you guys notice when you're cruising along and there's something you want in life or some kind of pattern you want to shift in life or some kind of thing that you want to happen. And you think, what do I need in the physical world? What needs to happen to get this to work? And you get all that and you go, huh, okay, what would that be like if I got all that? And then you're like, now what's the bad thing that's going to happen if that happens, if I get all that? And whatever that is, you might get epiphanies around it and make decisions to think differently, new beliefs. And then just whatever it is, no matter what it is, take a breath in. Let's do it now. And let go. And let your pebble drop. Certainty of a kid. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now I feel, is that pretty good? Are you guys getting something out of this? Let's see. This is so good and so real. Oh, awesome. Okay. Okay, so let me see. I've got to figure out my, yes, awesome, Bart. Thank you. Awesome. I'm going to get a way to do this. I think I go to participants and I go to attendees. Oh, this is working just great. At least, let's see, promote to panelists. So I think there's a way for me to see if somebody raises their hand. So if anybody wants, does anybody see a way to raise your hand? I don't see it on my screen, but maybe because I'm the, oh, there's two. Okay, let me see if I can find them. Oh, there they are. Okay, okay, okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. We're going to go from the bottom up on my little list. Okay, so bottoms up, everybody. Here we go. So I'm going to promote. It says promote to panelists. Misty, you are promoted to panelist. So let's see. We'll be rejoining the webinar as a panelist. Let's see what happens. Can you hear me? Oh, wait. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, wait. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Okay. You got to unmute things. Okay, so when I was in San Diego, I used to do these things on my side porch. It was so awesome. In fact, the last picture I sent you guys with Jen and Ben on Ben's 2-year birthday, and this guy Stevie Q was playing music. It was so cool, and on our side porch. But I also did sessions where people would come in big groups, and I would work on people, and then other people in the group would have a session. So even though I'm working with Misty right now, and we may or may not be working with a condition that's similar to yours, you can notice a change in what's going on with you. So let me just check in with Misty. So I thank you for your email. Anything you want to say about what you want, if something were to be done for you today, any help you need, tell me what you need.
I would love to, can you hear me at all?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm noticing that I'm feeling more in the present moment and feeling more connected to just doing what's in front of me, or what I'm feeling inspired to like take little steps. And I'm definitely feeling the momentum from that. And although I'm not necessarily seeing the financial gain quite yet, I'm noticing the energy is building towards that. So if there's something that I could shift or allow to just facilitate this movement that I'm noticing in my day-to-day action.
Okay, I got it. And let's see. So what I'm noticing, and I'll just say it because it's kind of fun to talk, the lung, the right lung, but it feels either conscious or toxic. It feels conscious. So you kind of, you know this. And liver, no. It's the lung. It's the right lung. Is it upper lobe, middle lobe? Wow, lower lobe. It's the middle lobe of the lung. Okay. Is this to do with this? It might be. Is this to do with this? Yeah, there's a component of this. Okay, so I know you work really well and super cool. I'm so glad you're doing this for the vaccine stuff. Do you have any kind of experience or anybody in the family with cancer stuff?
Yeah, my grandma died from cancer last year. And it was multiple cancers that every time she would go in for chemo and radiation, she would go into quote unquote remission. And then a couple months later, it would manifest in another area of her body.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. That has a resonance here that goes right in this pattern. And when I go into that lung pattern, it goes very deep. And the right middle lobe of the lung is about, hyperplasia, cancer stuff. And that's big. And so while there's this physical, this stuff that's conscious about it, I'm noticing something that's deep. So now what do I do with that? Wow. Jesus. Wow. Do you feel, and it's not talk therapy, I'm just looking, so the way this works is I ask questions until I kind of bird dog on something where it's like, I go, oh, there it is. And it's like, I just know that's the information. Not that it needs to make sense or that I'm going to fix it with words or do psychotherapy. We're not doing that. But when I find the information, it really is in the spiritual tradition, the spiritual laws, the spiritual promises that by the time you've asked, I've answered. And if you but open a window, I will pour more abundance in you than you could ever imagine. And so when I notice the information, my job is to just get out of the way. And so when I ask questions, I'm not looking to do psychotherapy. So, but we're looking for information. So we're right in it. This is a cool pattern and it's shifting. And what I want to do is see, is there any other information I need? Do you need some more information Misty needs? If you had more information, what might that be? What would be useful for you about anything?
Releasing addiction.
Like how to release addiction?
Yeah.
Your addiction or someone else's?
Mine, on an emotional level.
What's the addiction?
Long-term smoking marijuana to relieve pain.
Relieve physical pain? Or other
physical and emotional.
Okay. So
it's like a way of coping with anxiety of physical pain for sure, because I definitely have that, but there's something deeper. There's this emotional it helps me feel like I'm relieving the burden of the world. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, I see a whole bunch of stuff. You've got a lot of awareness that's very conscious about this pattern. And yet there's also this very deep thing that's right in the right middle lobe of the lung. And one thing, one of the things that, one wonderful way the body works, from what I've seen, the way I notice it, is that everybody's body, including Misty's right now, wanting marijuana, is doing the best it can do. And your body's doing the best it can do. Everybody's is. And what we see when we see a symptom is the body's version of trying to protect itself. Mm-hmm. And so one way to protect lungs and deep grief, is to smoke, because it makes, isn't that crazy? It's cool, huh? It does. It feels like the suppression of lungs some way. It does well, what it does is it makes ooziness. So it makes the lungs ooze. So now there's an ooziness, like physical oozing because of the smoke and stuff. And the ooziness then can act like a little protective thing for holes in lungs and inflammation. And it can kind of gunk things up. So we're going to let's go all the things this would be cool. All the things that would be needed to fix this up. So I have lots of technology. So let's go. So lung management. We're going to bring Sharon Giammatteo and all the lung management technique templates, blueprints, commercialism, creation. IDAP, NPR, essential body, lungs, right middle lobe of the lung syndrome. Wow. Correcting for anxiety. Let's do all the anxiety systems, all the adrenal systems, all the liver blueprints. Let's just fix you up. All the kidneys, all the right kidney stuff, all the letting go of anxiety. Right kidney is letting go of anxiety. Let's correct for all EMFs. Lucky you live out by the mountain. Whoa. So now we're going to do a big right kidney protocol. And now let's just put a big healing circle of gong right there. Okay. And now it feels like there's, you know how like the cartoons, they have a little bubble and they got the words in the bubble. It feels like that, but it's shaped
like a big tuba that's coming from your right middle lobe of your lung. I don't know what that's about. I feel like you're supposed to blow it. So go ahead and if you were to blow it right now, go ahead and do that. Okay, awesome. Okay, now what's the worst thing that would happen if you completely blew everything? Like you just messed up everything. This is what showed up. I'm sorry. If you blew it all, it's like, oh, God damn it. Fuck. I just blew it all. I really screwed up this time.
There's just some sort of freedom in that.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So now let's go to you as a musician that, because you are. Everybody, can I tell them who you are?
Sure.
Misty Flowers, you got to look her up. I love her songs, especially the vaccine song. Whoa. So you, rich enough. You got money out the wazoo. You're like Bono, man, for God's sakes. And you're getting on planes in first class with your girls. And your partner is meeting you there later because he still likes to do his work. And he's flying first class. And you did everything. You did everything, all the stuff, the right people, Del Bigtree found you, made you like famous. If somebody can make you famous. And everything worked. All your stuff, getting everything out there. Now, what's the bad thing that happens if you get famous?
I guess my fear is a loss of connection to people that struggle in financial ways.
Okay, there's something there. It kind of tightens up your heart. Like it just feels like all of a sudden there's a big knot. Let's see. Would you like to let that go?
I have a strong need to feel like I need to bring everybody with me in that. Like,
oh, gotcha. Where do you think? So let's see. Anything? Let's see. Okay, you're how old are you?
36.
36, 26, 16, 12, 5. 5 years old. Is that really what I'm trying? Let go, Rob. Anything at 5 that your dad told you, or anything that happened at 5? Anything that you remember at age 5? Just the first that pops in your mind.
Some sort of interaction between my mom and dad. I don't know.
Okay, let's just take that whole thing. It looks like that same tuba. So do you blow it again? I think this time you suck it in. Okay, so suck it in. Okay, and now what did you have to suck it up for? I don't know why it showed up. I don't usually do it this way, but this is how it showed up. What did you have to suck it up about? Like, what did you just have to like just get on with it?
Not seeing my dad anymore.
Okay. How did he die?
No, he just disappeared for a while.
Okay. And that has a strong resonance with the lung, which is about grief. And you knew this. It's like
he's dead now. He is dead now, but
okay.
did. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. How about if we just, I'm going to take apart this, the little things that you push down to make the sound out of this tuba looking thing. It's one of those little small tubas. I'm going to take the mouthpiece off. It's got lots of spit. I want to like rinse it out in Listerine or something. Yeah, I don't know if that's toxic or not, but we're going to do it. Okay, we're going to go and let's do a scrubby thing through all those tubes and also through all your ears, all those little tubes in your ears and all this junk. Let's, do we just get a new one? Do we get rid of it? Do we scrap it up? Do we bring it back together? Let's just send it out like a Star Wars thing. So what it feels like is that when Star Wars starts and the script is going off into space, it feels like it's going off into space. I think it's useful like that. So let's do that. Okay, so let's, so now Misty getting everything she wants. Awesome. So now I've got Misty getting everything she wants. And when I say that, it goes deep into that same spot of that right lung. But now it feels like very, I hate this word, spiritual. Because people think it has to be like spiritual. It's like, no, it's like bigger than that, right? So it's right in that right middle lobe of the lung. So whatever the other, just like the right middle lobe of the lung is about cancer. Oh my God. Okay, so cancer is uncontrollable growth that's ugly and kills people. So money let's shift your dial to where it's just wonderful for you, where money is like really optimized for you. Like it's just an exchange, right? It's just pieces of paper, and there's no value in it. If we were in a different culture and it was the wrong currency, it would be useless. But because we all agree to this thing, then, we can exchange it for, houses and cars and food, and it's just useful for that. So it's not really money is the thing. Let's optimize you in relation to money, and then money in relation to you. There we go. Wow, that feels cool. That feels cool. I see like a little marble, like in Vegas, that's all those, that tuba thing turned into a bunch of little tracks. And I see one marble. I'm going to pick up one marble and let's see what I do with this. I'm going to put it in your left ear. No, I'm going to put it right by your left ear. It makes a little too much sense, but it's, if you can imagine anything making sense when I talk. A hummingbird right by your left cheek. Okay, so that feels good. Wow, I think that's gonna keep shifting a lot of stuff. I know, isn't that cool? So for everybody that was on, and for Misty, some stuff you might have go, oh, well, that makes sense. And others like, what the hell? And it's like, why is he cussing? It's like, it's okay. Because we go where the information goes. And when we touch it, it's like, oh, there it is. And I've got like my goosebumps. So that's useful. It's all like, so what we get to see is what's different for everybody on the call, whether they watch now or later, and what's different for you right now, and what's different for Misty right now, and what's different later, and noticing the synchronicity and go, oh my God, that's really different. That's like really happening. And when that happens, what you might want to do is just take a pebble and just let go and just go, ah, thank you. Oh, awesome. That feels really good. Okay. How does it feel to you, Misty? How's it going over there?
Oh, it feels so good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That was super fun. Okay, that was cool. This is going to be cool, man. This is going to be cool to see what's different. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's see. And I think, how do I do this now? I think I see panelist. I'm going to take Misty off for that. I hope Misty can still hear me. Let's see. You could, I'm going to do this. And you tell me if you still hear me, Misty. Okay. Do you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. I think you're off now. I think you're not going to be able to, I'm going to go to see who else is on here. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So we're going to go to Jeffrey, promote to panelists. Okay. Jeffrey is on, and I'm going to get to you, Carolyn. So hang in there. Notes, we're running a little late. Okay. So I kind of counted on like a little extra these days because I love doing these single, these one-on-one things. So Jeffrey, can you hear me? Oh shoot, where is Jeffrey? Jeffrey? Unmute. Jeffrey, can you hear me?
Hey, Ralph.
Okay, awesome. Okay, maybe bring the microphone a little closer because I don't, oh, that's better, I think. Talk now?
How's that?
Oh, that's way better. Okay.
Okay.
So, and thank you for your email. Tell me anything you want to tell me. Like if there was something to be done for you, what might that be?
So I'm having toxicity issues at my apartment, and I've been here for 6 months, but haven't been living here. And so there's weird interactions with the toxicity stuff, and then feeling like I'm not safe here. And I don't know. So there's just all kinds of complicated stuff about where I'm living right now.
Okay. And what, it's funny, it's kind of interesting. I usually see subconscious patterns, right? Unconscious patterns, subconscious patterns, things in the physical organ, but I see another conscious pattern. So I know you've done a lot of work too. And so I think that might be part of what's going on because it seems really conscious. So conscious, toxic. It doesn't feel toxic. It feels conscious. Okay, so I'm going to 2-point you first to this and 2-point that to you, because that pattern has a consciousness. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so that's shifting some stuff. There's that pattern feels alive. It feels like it's actually alive, or it's like it's got something going on. So what do you, let's get your list. And you might have already done this in the exercises before, but what's the things, if you had in the physical world or any kind of world, if you had all these things in place, you think I think that would fix it. Like, what is all those? Start to name them off, and I'm going to see what I see.
I mean, if I had more money resources, there were a lot of things that I could fix really simply. I mean, including just moving out of here pretty quickly.
Okay. How much money?
I 60,000 pops in. I don't know.
So $60,000 just as a lump sum?
Yeah, that would do a lot.
Okay, it goes right to the pattern. It's interesting. It kind of gobbles up the 60,000. I don't know what that means. So, okay, let's see. Any recurring income that would be useful?
Yeah, being able to generate more money from my practice would make a huge difference on a lot of levels.
Okay, that one goes behind it, like even farther in front of you. So let me go find that. So you guys might feel this. We're going to go to this point in that pattern. And it's funny, the pattern is turning and looking at that. Okay, so now I think we got something. So what's your biggest fear of getting this fixed? If this is really fixed.
Oh,
wow. And as you guys are on the call, you might feel this, but as Jeffrey's whole consciousness is going, what is it? What is it? And finding and looking and finding and looking, I can see like a whole bunch of shifting happening for everybody. So it's, wow. Okay. So yeah, go ahead, Jeffrey.
So I can feel a place where the pattern is. Like I can feel this pattern up the right side of my body. And it's a couple feet over my head, out to the side.
And I feel it in front of your body on the right side, kind of up and out to the side. Okay, so we're tracking it. So let's see. Let's do this the easy way, I think. I'm going to bring in Hector Garcia. Oh, wow, that's interesting because Hector's thing is cancer goes away around Hector. I'm going to tell a story. I love stories. Hector Garcia. This is going. So I was in Scottsdale, Arizona, taking one of my matrix classes years ago, and it was the magic class, which I've taken numerous times, but they had an extra day, a third day of magic class. It's usually 2 days. And the guy that developed matrix energetics that it came through, Richard Bartlett, brought in Hector Garcia, a guy that lived in San Diego. I've gone to see him as a client. My wife has. I've gone to some of his trainings. Whoa. And so he was on the whole third day. And at the break, I was out at the Starbucks. That's what I used to go to Starbucks and getting my green tea. And I ran into a realtor from Vancouver. And I was like, oh, I love Vancouver. I want a realtor in Vancouver. You're my realtor. And she was taking the class. She was taking matrix energetics. So we exchanged numbers and everything. And she went into class. And right after the break, Hector Garcia called her and her friend up. And her friend had multiple organ failure of cancer and was told to just go home and die. And there she was up on stage in front of about 500 people. And Hector did his Hector thing, what that means, talked in funny things that were hard to track. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And then he finally said, you don't have cancer. It's 9 dimensions over, and it's not even yours. Something like that. He said something like that. And then he sent it over to where it really is. Now that sounds all nice and airy-fairy, and isn't that wonderful? But you know, when you're dealing with somebody that has cancer that they're told to die, you can't just tell people that. unless you're really sure, right? You can't just play with people's lives like that, right? And so that happened. It felt really big. And then she sat down. And so months later, Jen and I went up to Vancouver and on one of our vacations, and we met Panna, the realtor. And she took us around. We actually put an offer in on a condo. Didn't get it. It's kind of funny. So, but then we took her out to dinner, to lunch, to Indian food, and we were eating. And I said, "Hey, whatever happened to your friend?" And she goes, "Oh, she came back. She didn't have cancer." And this was like a 20-minute session. And of course, the woman was in class for 3 days too. So I don't know what all that's about, but we're going to go to what I'm getting is a belief system. And what would have to completely shatter for Jeffrey, for you, to get what you wanted? Go. And I know Jeffrey, and I know he'd be totally happy to let anything shatter that's supposed to shatter. So I feel good about that. Wow. And now it feels like that pattern, I feel like a bunch of dots of it. And we're going to take the whole thing. It's a matrix thing I play with, Windows. And now I got one thing here. And so I'm going to do a compartment syndrome and a compression syndrome from IMT. And let's open this up and see what's in here. Okay. So anything that comes to mind when I say, what's the bad thing that would happen if you totally got all the money you needed and you actually got healthy and got to live in a safe place? What's the bad thing that would happen?
So it's with the money thing, one thing I could identify when we were doing that earlier is I'm sober, and I've been sober 11 years. So sometimes when people get lots of money, people relapse. And so that pops up for me.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, and it does look like a big black fuzzy hairy thing. So I'm going to go, let's just go, you can go, let's do it. Let's go right into the middle of that pattern and see what that feels like. Okay, now I'm going to go to all the things that you would have to put in place so you didn't succumb to that. Anything that comes to mind of what you would have to do with tons of money so that you didn't do that?
I'd have to be doing good with the money, right? Like I'd have to be doing good things in the world with the money.
Okay, so you go deep into this. Do I ask more of that? Tell me something else you would do to make sure you didn't go back to drugs. I don't think you don't really think you're going back to drugs if you had a ton of money, do you?
No, but I mean, that was definitely one of the things that popped up when you were playing with that earlier.
Okay, and it just feel like it. So let's see. So let's see. Do we go more things to do? Yeah. What else might you do to make sure that didn't happen? Do good in the world. What else?
There's a weird thing that I can track back to my dad being 16, like on the edge of everything coming together, like starting medical school at IU, and then this big conflict with him where I was gonna be tossed out, and so I don't know. There were images of that I can track patterns with that too.
I do too. It's like it's like a dense black ball. Let's see. Let's do some more compartment syndromes. Let's do spiritual compartment syndromes, mental, emotional compartment syndromes. I wonder why I keep saying compartment syndromes. I meant compression syndromes. Oh, 1 compression syndrome, 2 compression syndrome, 3. Let's have a bunch of little children around you singing 1 compartment syndrome, 2 compartment syndrome. No, why do I keep saying compartment? Compression syndrome. Is it a compartment syndrome? It's a compartment syndrome. Oh, compartment syndromes have to do with relationship to the next thing next to it. So let's do compartment syndromes for your heart. Compartment syndromes for your heart. CH1, CH2, heart templates, go. Heart essential body, heart NPR, heart NFP. Oh, let's go to Misty's wellness center and do NFP 7 hours a day for the next 45 years, all the next 8 seconds. No, not that one. 8, 7, 6, 5, 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That feels better. There's a pattern there. That's the pattern, isn't it? Let's just see.
Yeah.
Let's go through and that. Oh, okay. So take it like a balloon. And when you're ready to let go of it, let's bring in a bunch of wind. It's got a lot of helium in there. And the atmosphere is right here. Okay, so when you're ready to let go of it, lots of helium. Let's make sure it's really pumped up. There we go. Okay, when you're ready to let go, go ahead and I'm putting a little note on it that has all the beliefs that you're ready to let go of now. And go ahead and let go. Oh, it's so interesting. It's going and it's looking down at you, kind of checking to see, is it really okay if I go? What's the worst thing that would happen if it went? Would you be sad?
I get I'd be lost.
Oh, wow. And now it's coming back. Okay. Wow. Okay, let's see. And how old are you?
50.
50, 20, 30, 12, 8, 5. 5 years old. Tell me about 5 years old, the first thing that pops in. That. Okay.
It's my dad living by the woods and stuff in that house I was born in.
Okay, awesome. It feels really good. Was it good?
Yeah.
It feels really good. Okay, so let's bring that in and then let's bring in wood, which is wood. Liver, gallbladder. So social status. Let's go social status and let's do a little social status blueprint for you and your dad back when you were 5 and really bring in a connection that can't be broken. 3, 2, ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
1. Awesome. And then let's let that go up as a seed. Wow. And so now it's like a big cobra. What the heck is the cobra doing here? So let's see. Let's go red, green, blue, yellow. Let's go to words that don't make sense in songs. Oh, there we go. But feel good. Okay, I like it. Wow, now I see a big peacock. It's like the NBC peacock. Dee, dee, dee. Sign off. Shh. What a good day. Wow. So I just had an image, and it's not to say this is what happened or this should have happened or we wanted this to happen. It's just an image that showed something that was cool. And I got the end of the day, how TVs used to sign off and then it would just go to static or some sort of like thing. And you and your dad just like, that was a good day. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so let's see what that does, huh, Jeffrey?
That's awesome. Thank you, Ralph.
You're welcome, man. That was fun too.
My breathing and my neck and everything feels really different right now. So
that was big. That was cool. Yeah, that was cool. Awesome. All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Let's go see if we have Carolyn still there. Yay. Okay, so we'll do one more. Yeah, one more. Okay, so Carolyn should be on. And let's go, Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Okay. Are you in North Carolina now or Florida?
South Carolina.
South Carolina?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Okay. So tell me anything you want to tell me about anything you want.
Well, that was a pretty good session. I just felt what you did for Jeffrey. I'm very calm right now. Oh, but I just have to work on my intestines. And
I know you. So how is the all that intestine stuff, the GI tract, the elimination and all that?
It's not working. And I've done something every day. I'm not improving. And this
You're not
morning
what?
I was thinking I'm the only person I know that has Sjogren's, and I just feel so very alone because it's a very tough disease and nothing will cure it. But
Let me do something. Okay, let's just see. I want to just do this. Sjogren's cure. See what shows up. I'm going to go to an image. I'm going to find something. Oh, go ahead. I'm going to look for something, some resonance, something that might help here. Hope for a cure. No. In the fight, no. Doctor, no. Let's see. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Let's do this. No, that might be it. Let's pull this one out. Okay. Yeah, that feels good. So I'm going to go ahead and it's funny, yours is a conscious pattern too. And I know you've done a lot of therapy stuff. You are a therapist and have taken some really cool stuff. If you could do anything to fix this, is there anybody in the world or any kind of therapy or any kind of thing, nutritional, mind, body, hands-on therapy, anything that you would be like, oh, you know what I think could work?
Oh, once in a while I've been meditating 43 years now. And sometimes I think about it'd be nice to live at the university in Iowa part-time.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Did you used to live in Iowa?
6 months at the university. The university's for TM, Transcendental Meditation.
Oh, okay. Whoa, interesting. Do we do this? How is life going for you?
I have a great life.
You do, yeah.
Except my health issues,
Okay, I'm going to 2-point something because I went to Iowa. When you went to Iowa, I went to Iowa and I instantly went to a guy that that when I first read his books, he said, why are you got a good life, you got a good wife, you got a good house, you got a good business. Why are you reading this book about destroying your life? And I thought, oh, isn't that funny? I'll read some more. And it kind of went a little funny after that. So I don't want to do that to you. It's not that I can do something to somebody, but it's like, but I do see something. When you went to Iowa, I went straight to that book instantly. So there's some information there. And it also looks conscious here. What's the worst thing that would happen if you got well?
Nothing, because I would travel with my husband.
And what's the worst thing that would happen if you traveled with your husband?
No, I would travel with him if I got well.
I know, but what's anything bad that might happen?
Well, we might not come home. We'll just stay in the Bali or something.
God, that sounds pretty good. Okay, so your condition is keeping you from traveling.
Yes.
Now that feels good.
That's what it is. We have the money to travel, but I can't go that far for so long.
Okay. I'm going to take this. It's a conscious pattern again. We got 3 conscious patterns. So unusual. So, what do you think it is?
I don't know. I had it since I was 5 years old.
Okay, let's go back. So, and we have wizards on our station right now. Let's go. Bring everybody's wizardry in. So we're going to be bring music. This. And can we point this to something early? Can we do this? Let's no, that's not it. Okay, let's just use wizards. What if I get out of the way?
Yeah.
7.83. There's some kind of like it's not a lot, but it's just like a little something that's like nervousness around something. So I'm not sure what that is. So.
Yeah. It might have been the physical abuse, but I'm really tired of that story.
You're tired of that story. Okay. Yeah.
It was really
there's only a teeny bit of that I've tracked. It's not like, oh my God, is this more, but we do need to do something with this. Let's go right to the dot of this.
Yeah.
Right to the dot, here goes, and get that information. It feels like a time release version of this information, like some sort of homeopathic idea, some homeopathic that is going to be time release, like contact. Back in the day of contact. Oh, let's get rid of all the lies. Not get rid of them. Let's track all the lies. And 2 points. Okay, so I'm going to go through and ask some questions. And if anything shows up for you, feel free to say, were you bottle fed or breastfed?
Breastfed.
Breastfed, okay. A lot of vaccines or just a long time ago vaccine?
No, it was still in the 50s. We didn't, they didn't overdo it then. I was
well, and you got away without getting bottle fed. That's really good. Yeah. That started in the late 50s.
No, I was bottle fed.
Oh, you're bottle fed. Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is.
Oh, I made a mistake.
Yeah, bottle fed. Okay, so there's one lie. Okay, let's see. Food. Did you eat real food or did you eat like what was popular coming in at the time, like the TV dinners and all that stuff?
No, my mother was a great cook.
So she ate you guys ate real food?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get my thing out of the way because you know me and gluten-free and autoimmune. Let's see. But that has not, I don't feel anything with that. Okay. Any other lies? No. Anything we're going to do? Is this the information? Can I let go? I keep getting, it's so weird. Any addictions in your family or your life?
No, I didn't go down that path. My father drank. He was a terrible alcoholic.
So he was addicted. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So frequency 8. Let's go back to age 5 and then go back 2 more years, 3, and then 2, and then 1. And let's give him a really cool outlet for all that rage and anger. And because what I'm getting is that singer Eminem with a lot of his songs were really loud and lots of to them. So we're going to bring in Eminem. I don't know why. And then we're going to change it into 2 M&Ms, red and green, and then put them right here and then spin around your neck. And there's something that you're looking at in that pattern that you're looking at right at it. So I'm going to go right to what you're looking at. Anything useful from this stuff? No? This stuff, that stuff. Can't believe it's not Yogananda. And that stuff, monks. Let's bring in some Shalon monks. I love those guys. Move Like a Cat. And Jack Johnson. Today we're into the music. Oh, wow. So we're going to bring in the perfect weed for you. Not like marijuana weed, I don't think. It's more like a medicinal weed. So let's bring in right here into, it's also your right lung. Grief. Grief for your childhood. Relationship with you. It feels like a thought pattern. Go there one time. If you had what you wanted, totally well digestive tract, and you were traveling around, go to that feeling state right now.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, just if there was something that would be negative or something that would happen that would be like not good, if you got it, anything come to mind? It doesn't have to be that. I might be tracking something different. Grief.
What do you mean? Well,
like in my story, like you know, I got an epiphany that, oh my God, if I'm making a lot of money, somebody's going to die and it's going to destroy the family. Anything come to mind?
No.
Okay, got it. That's okay. There's a darkness pattern right in front of your right lung, and it's a grief pattern.
Yeah.
I think because it's like it tends to be what is a grief pattern. It's kind of like it's a dark pattern. So let me go here. I'm going to leave a copy of me. Oh, cool. Has anybody ever been to the Guggenheim Museum in Upper East Side of New York?
Yeah.
It's cool, huh?
Yeah, it is cool.
So it's neat museum because you walk in and there's no walls and you go up a spiral and you stop and you look at the art. And if you turn around, you can see all the other art. And then you walk around and you see another painting, and then you turn around and then you see all the art from another perspective. So we're going to go up the Guggenheim and find the right place for us. So let's see, up, down. Oh my goodness, we're like at the entrance. We're in the lobby. In fact, we're at the front door. In fact, we're at the wall right on the Upper East Side. Let's see, 0 to 100, 100 to 190, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 181, 181. So 181st Street and 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th Ave. Activate.
Ouch.
Okay, so I don't know what that is, but it's what showed up. I thought I was going to go up the Guggenheim and find the right painting and do all this stuff, but it was like there was information right out there. And so I'm trusting that. And so let me know what you notice. So, you know, email me tonight, email me tomorrow, email me over the week. You can email me every time before the Thursday sessions, and then and see if there's something different. Let's see. So how are you feeling over there?
I felt something when you said 181st Street and 4th Avenue.
Okay. So isn't that funny? It's kind of cool. So let's see what happens. Let's see.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me see what everybody's saying here. Thank you, Carolyn.
Oh, thank you, Ralph.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's see. Feels like something wants to shift, but somehow it's still there. I don't know what it is. Can you please have a look at it? Okay, so that's interesting that was similar to what I saw with Carolyn. So I'm going to trust that. Someone else is very sleepy, but it feels good. Left side teeth, scared to ask for things. Okay, that's okay. It's noticing things. Okay, awesome. So you guys are going to get a video about this, and I'll send you a little email with the cliff notes. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll send you a little cliff notes of what I was using. And if it's useful, you know, you could use it. Like when something comes up and you think, well, I want to get this done. I really need this project, or I want this in my life. And then you figure out the physical things to do, and then you, you know, drop it in the heart space, let go, and then just you could ask yourself the question, what's the bad thing that would happen? And if something comes up, if it doesn't, it's okay. But if something comes up, you could then go, oh, it's that. Well, I don't need that anymore. And then just decide on a different belief, drop it in the heart space again, let go, and you're playing with real magic. So let's see what happens. And I will see you guys in a month. This was really cool. It'll be fun to see what everybody notices. And until next week of next month, well, next week for Thursday, and then next month. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you very much.
Bye, Ralph.
Bye.